It's very rare that a show pulls me in from the get go. It usually takes me about a season of character building to really dive deep into a show and really start my fandom for it. But not with this show right here. We're talking about The Pit. The Pit, it was such a good show. From the jump, it was amazing. The actors were great. You could tell they were sincere. Now, I know I might be a little tardy to the party on this one, but I had to just talk about it. The show was just so good. I had to come on here and talk about it and give it the praises that it deserves. Now, The Pit is a medical drama, not like your typical medical dramas where everybody's hooking up in the janitor's closet and stuff like that. The Pit is an emergency room drama that follows a crew that works in the Pittsburgh, fuck, ER. And it follows them for a shift that I think is supposed to be 12 hours or something like that. And it ends up going longer. And of course, it's the most stressful day they've ever had. The show starts off, we follow Dr. Robbie, played by Noah Weil, who was in the original ER show. And we're going to talk about some trouble with the ER show here in a little bit. But they start their shift, I think it starts at 5 a.m. And so the show, each episode goes hour by hour by hour. So it's a 15 episode season. And God, I can't wait for more seasons of this. But it does a really great job of connecting you to each character. There's so many different doctors in different years of medicine training. And I've never looked as far into medicine as I have after watching this show. I was glued to it. I was watching YouTube videos from like Dr. Mike or Dr. Hope's Sick Notes, reacting, people that actually worked in the ER, and they talked about how realistic this was. And obviously, I've never worked in medicine, so I can't speak to how real it was, but it just felt real. I found myself just like drooling watching them talk nonsense, stuff I don't even know about. They would just be spilling off medicines, dosages, and I would just be glued. Like, I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just a constant go. So if you're somebody with severe ADHD or a running mind, this show just completely cuts that out, and you're listening to just gibberish and them helping people, and everybody in the show you just can connect to so much. Like, there's a character in the show. Her name is Melissa King. She is played by Bryan Cranston's daughter, Taylor Dearden, and her character is so connectable. She has a sister who is on the spectrum, and they make it known from the jump that she's starting this job now. She's really getting into the work of the job, and it's long hours, long days. She has been like the caretaker to her sister, so it's a big plot point, and she connects to other doctors in that way. They find that out about her, and they really connect to her. And the character building in this is just so insane. I keep saying it, but it's so nice. Now, it wouldn't be a ER drama or a medical drama without a couple of hints at like relationships, but it really doesn't dive into that like a Grey's Anatomy where everybody's hooking up, stuff like that. It really, everything is about the patient, and Dr. Robbie, the main character, Noah Weil, does a great job of keeping everyone focused and showing that, like, okay, you're caring for your patient, good enough for me, perfect. Meanwhile, it's showing you the very realistic, from what I've heard from doctors, the very realistic side of ER medicine is you're constantly being hounded by people in the administrative branch of the hospital talking about numbers and surveys and scores, and all they're really trying to do down there is save lives, and that can really get into in the way of saving lives of the patients. So throughout the shift, it wouldn't be much of a drama if everything went like a slow day. It highlights the state of ER hospitals in inner cities such as Pittsburgh, and they're backed up. They're getting busy. They let people in based on the severity of their injuries. So there's people that they show the whole triage room, and people are constantly talking like, I've been here for hours, I can't get in. And that begins to be a problem as the show goes on, because you still have the same patients out waiting in triage to get in, and they start to cause problems. I don't want to give away too much of the meat of the show and the situations that they deal with, but there's everything in this show. I mean, there's from the videos reactions I saw, there's a lot of like rare medical procedures that happen in this one day. Obviously, it's it's the season is one day of work. So it is the most insane day. You see these complex treatments for, heart attacks. Somebody gets degloved early on, and like I don't know if you've ever seen Gerald's Game, but there's a scene where the girl pulls her hand on a handcuff and completely degloves her hand, and it shows it. And oh, man, that's not the degloving you see in this show, but it's nasty. But in this show, they do a great job of shooting it and keeping you listening to the main characters that you don't really notice it. It does get a little bit into the like um hospitals during COVID time and after COVID. I know some people get really annoyed by that, and usually I do too, but it really highlights it as like this really big moment in medical history, and it keeps flashing back to COVID and kind of how it still lives inside Dr. Robbie's head after I can't spoil it, but he has a big loss during COVID, and this particular day is the anniversary of that. So he really like it shows deep inside his mind and inside the doctor's mind of their humility, but also their professionalism too. At later in the season, there's an amazing scene where Dr. Robbie finally uh you really see like the insanely deep human side of the doctors in the ER, and it's so amazing through and through. All the characters are great. I can't remember the last time a show has got me like this hooked. I am so ready for season 2. It's insane. It kind of, as the season goes on, you even start to build kind of a relationship with the patients that they're seeing too through the day, and they have um their regulars in the ER, the people that are always there every day. They have them in there too, which from what I hear, it is true. Maybe not multiple of them, but there's probably in big cities, there's probably people that are in the ER pretty often. But there is, unfortunately, like all good things, some legal trouble with this show. So remember ER, the main actor in this movie, and I think one of the writer or the main actor in this show and one of the writers, I believe, we used to work on the show ER back in the day, and the original writer of ER died. And this is all off the top. I'm not going to read anything. I watched a video and I read an article. The writer died, and basically the idea of the show is protected, and basically like kind of like copyright. He keeps that copyright for X amount of time. So any spin-offs, sequels, um, anything that branches off, anything that can be connected to ER is basically his property. So from what I'm hearing here, about 2 or 3 years before the Pit came out, Noah Weil and the other writer um contacted the original ER writer's widow and talked to her about possibly doing a ER reboot following Dr. Robbie, Noah Wile's character in ER, as he is an older doctor and now he's leading the medical students, and kind of him coming to terms with the job that they do, losing patients and saving lives and things like that. So basically, they were talking with the widow. She asked for so much money, and people were saying that is like way higher than the industry standard. So they just couldn't reach a deal. Eventually, Noah Weil and the writer went in and wrote The Pit, and it doesn't share a location with ER, doesn't share any character names. All it does is share uh, some of the actors. I think a couple actors maybe at most, but you can't tie down an actor and say, oh, because they're playing a doctor, it's linked to this other show. There's plenty of actors that play like a baseline same character on multiple shows. So I don't think this lawsuit will go anywhere, but it really could affect season 2 coming out. Now HBO says that they want a season out every year, and if they can pull that off, that used to be how shows go. If they could pull that off, this could be one of the greatest medical dramas of all time. So that's why I just wanted to get on here and talk about it. That's about it. Peace out.